right? We have, dimensions that we can go in and change, size on. All that is right here. You have, of course, so I have this already. I'm going to create some sketches here in a minute, but I didn't want to, create all that. So here I have this sketch ready to go, and I'm going to revolve it about some axis right there. And it's showing me the part being created. Now, by default, it sees another part touching this. It wants to add it to the part. But if you take a look at this screen here, the revolve feature, I can actually say new part. I'm going to hide myself here just for a second. Because when I do that, look to where my face was. You see there's only one part right now in this part studio called cylinder housing. If I hit new instead of add, it's actually creating another part body in my part studio. And it's a brand new part, and it's calling it part 2. And of course, I can rename that to anything I want, right? So I'll just call that the blessing block. I'll just put in caps so I can see it later. And there it is. That's the first part in my design, and we can have multiple parts in our model. Right now, we have 2 parts. We have the cylinder housing made of aluminum 380, 3.85 pounds of material, and the blessing block, which I'll assign some material properties to. I'll also make it aluminum 380. So I'll just search through there and add the property information. Now we have almost 5 pounds of material here. And, there's some other things that we're going to do to this part, right? I have some holes, right? I have this M8 hole that, hole tool generated, like a hole wizard, if you will, if you're coming from another CAD system, that's drilling through these that's drilling through the part right here to a certain depth. Actually, if I edit my section, you'll see that better. There we are. That's pretty cool, right? Just pick a section and it'll let you edit it without having to go into a tool. All right. So that's the M8, and I want that to also appear on this part. I want to reuse the hole, right? So I'm just going to drag and drop the M8 down below that in the feature tree. All those same rules apply, right? And I'm just going to tell it that I want it to also drill through this part. And where do I want it to start? I'll just tell it to start from this plane. And if I go to my whole table, right, there's a whole table. There's all sorts of great design kind of tables that you can add or just, use in the system. And I can see, there's the M8.4 through hole that is required for an M9 for this M8 125, right? So just like that, we have our holes, we have our part,